Okay, so in today's video about quant, at first we are going to do a short-term analysis and see what is going on in this area, and then we are going to check out the relationship between QNT and Bitcoin and see why am I also very much optimistic in that area. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about quant, we were right around these areas and I was saying, okay, technically we can have in terms of classic patterns, and again only in terms of classic patterns, a triangle structure. This is the upper line and this is the lower line, but I said classic patterns are not really my favorite. That's why I said in case that we get a break of the lower line, do a pullback and a continuation of the move down, I'm not really going to be mad about that. And I want to be very clear, this now is not going to be a triangle anymore, and you just cannot argue this is a bearish triangle. No, because the move before this triangle was actually on the upside in here. This only could have been a bullish triangle, and since now we got a break of the lower line, it means we're not really having any kind of special pattern in here at all. But is this a bad sign? In my opinion, definitely no. You see, in terms of Elliott's phase, what are we having in this phase on the upside? This is a very strong move up, and I do think that it is actually a 5-wave impulsive structure, and followed by that, if you want to say this whole move is a correction structure, then okay, we are basically doing some chopping around. And in this case, again, I'm not really going to get upset in case we get a move down and visit the range lows, potentially even take them somewhere around, let's say like 83.5 cents. Why is that? Because at that point, I'm probably going to say, you know what, maybe this is going to be just a simple ABC in form of a flatter structure. And then in here, it's going to be time to get a fantastic move on the upside. Do we have to do this? No. You can argue, in fact, that maybe we are having a series of 1-2s, and I actually do like this possibility. You see, this can be 1, 2, and then after maybe like a very small move down, hopefully we are going to get a decent move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and at that point, this can be into a larger degree wave 3. What just happened? Okay, let's just say this one again. Into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and even on a higher degree, at that point, we are probably going to say, you know what, this 5-wave up now is going to be into a wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and this move on the upside in QNT can easily take us to somewhere around $250 plus. This is absolutely a possibility. The point that I'm trying to make is this. In quant, I think we are most likely having a solid bullish structure, but it doesn't mean that from here we're going to get a move up. And if we get, for example, something like this, this is, in my opinion, absolutely normal. We shouldn't really be worried about anything. So for now, the structures, in my opinion, do look quite optimistic, and there isn't really a whole lot to be worried about. Now, some of you guys say that quant is doing exactly what BTC doing at the moment. You know what? Okay, let's go on Bitcoin's price chart and see what is going on. Okay, here we are. So what do we have in here? These are just a series of lower highs and lower lows. However, let's get back on QNT's chart and see what are we having in the recent move on the downside. Well, this isn't actually a move down. Instead, we are having a series of higher highs and higher lows. So what does this mean? For now, at least, it seems like that we are kind of in the short term outperforming Bitcoin. And you can definitely see this on QNT's BTC's chart. Excuse me. Okay, let's go on this chart and see what is going on. So as you can see, this chart is just constantly going up in the last couple of days, meaning that we are absolutely outperforming Bitcoin. So I don't believe that for now, QNT is following exactly Bitcoin. No, in fact, I would like to argue we are doing better. But if you want to say that overall, what BTC does matter to QNT, okay, this is, in my opinion, very much a fair statement. That's why I want to show you this tweet. This is from Sebastian, and I would like to suggest to actually follow this guy. He mainly talks about QNT, and I think he does actually provide some valuable information. Now, about Bitcoin. So this blue line right in here is the supply on exchanges, and as you can see, we are at kind of an all-time low. Now, personally, and again, this is just my personal opinion, just saying that we are at all-time lows in terms of supply on exchanges is kind of misleading. However, just compare the last couple of months in Bitcoin since we have started this consolidation from this point about, let's say, 100K. As you can see, the supply in this period of time has dropped massively. And what's the message in here? Well, it seems like that a lot of investors are just getting their Bitcoin out of exchanges, meaning they want to hold for the next phase of the bull run. And I really find it hard to believe that they are going to be sellers at this point. No, I think they are probably getting ready for another fantastic move up. But I also told you before, I think this time smart money is going to invest heavily on Ethereum. And as you can see in Ethereum, not only we're not really seeing a whole lot of strong moves on the upside in mid to long term, but also even in this period of time, the supply on exchanges have been reducing constantly. So what's the messaging here? I think number one, our bull run is not over yet. Number two, BTC is probably preparing for a fantastic move up. And this doesn't mean that from here we're going to get a straight move up. No, we can definitely go maybe a bit lower to somewhere around 80K. I think that's definitely possible. But the point that I'm trying to make is this. I think our bull run is going to continue for quite a bit. And most likely in that phase, Ethereum is actually going to be the big winner. And if you believe that Bitcoin going up is good for Quant, well, okay, what do you think is going to happen to QNT when we get a 50, who knows, potentially even 100% move on the upside in BTC? I would like to say at that point, we are probably going to see a massive bull run in Quant. And in that phase, we are probably going to set an all-time high and take the highest high around $450. And I told you so many times, I think in the long term, we absolutely have the right structures for our bull run. You see, in the long term, you can argue this huge move up back in 2021 is actually a 5-wave impulsive structure. We talked about the subwaves before. I'm not going to really bore you with counting them again. This is into a wave 1, followed by that. This whole move down might be a correction into wave 2, and after our correction is over, or maybe it's over already, we are going to indeed have a great move into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And your focus should be just on this wave 3. And I think this is going to be probably for our next bear market. And in the next bull market, we are going to have this wave 5, which, and well, you know what? Let's not talk about the targets, because I'm probably going to get accused of being an absolute moonboy. For now, let's just focus on this wave 3. And since the price is kind of down, for me, it's definitely a fantastic buy opportunity. And I told you so many times, when we got this move down in Quant, I actually bought quite a bit of QNT. I opened some positions, and my stop loss is going to be under the lowest low down here. I think it was like $50. And my target, well, we can have different ones. For me, the bare minimum one is going to be taking the highest high in this region, about $170, which means I'm going to have about a 1-to-3 ratio when it comes to risk to reward, which for me is quite good. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. If you believe that our bull run is not over yet and we are going to have a fantastic altcoin season, then okay, I would like to suggest to definitely consider Quant, because the price is really, really low, and we definitely have, in terms of Elliott waves specifically, the right structures for a fantastic bull run in this cycle. And sure, maybe like in the short term, we are going to get a move down and do something like this, but that is not going to be a bad sign. I'm hoping that after this ranging pattern is over, we're going to get a beautiful move up in order to, by the first step, at least get back above this level, which the higher band of it is around, let's say, $110, and then we will see where we go from there. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in QNT's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make decent money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.